Hi, my name is Max, and every week I'm reading some papers from Latent Space's 2025 AI Engineer reading list and breaking it down into my own takeaways from it. So this week I read OpenAI's GPT papers, and the first thing I learned was that GPT actually stands for either generative pre-training or generative pre-trained transformer. I've seen both. And what this means is you can give it a whole bunch of unstructured, unlabeled data, and it'll learn to generate the next token. So their first paper, GPT-1, sought to prove out that this way of teaching a model could work. So it's basically a proof of concept, and it worked. They got some pretty good preliminary results. And so GPT-2, they basically took this to the next level and trained it on a larger model with even more data. And here the paper had an interesting part where it talks about their tokenization approach, which means how do you actually represent that next token or next character? Like, what is that token? And the good analogy is that for humans, we typically think in terms of either letters or words. And in a conversation setting, we're always thinking of words. Like the word that I'm saying next is the next token. For computers, if you do the next character, you don't really have enough meaning in that. And if you do words, there's way too many words. So they do this thing called byte pair encoding, which basically takes a byte. Basically, it's a mapping of sometimes it might be a whole word, sometimes it might be a single letter, like A comes up a lot, and that is a word, so that would be a single token. And they're able to pick the ones that have the most meaning kind of encoded in them, and they use that. GPT-3 comes along and they just do bigger everything, and here they start to actually get state-of-the-art performance, and they start talking about this concept called in-context learning, which means if we give it a couple examples, it could be no shot, one shot, or few shot. That depends on how many examples you're giving it. How well does it perform? And they figured out that just doing a few shot, so giving it 3 examples in your conversation of what you want it to do before asking it to do the thing you want it to do, it performs really well even if it wasn't trained on that task. That for me was whoa.